and then I'm gonna talk about what I wrote for the caption, well, for the title. Okay. So I'll wait for a few of you guys. When I see one person join, then I'll start talking about it. I know you guys like, I thought you said I thought you said that after you got off here you was gonna read, well, you was gonna get in the shower and read, okay? And I did get in the shower. And my children's father, he picked them up. He came here while I was in the shower, and then he took them. So he took our children. So that was good. That was really good. I think a lot of times when you surrender, like this is what I noticed in my experience with life. Oftentimes, right, when you just surrender, when you like, you know what, things are the way they are, and I can't do nothing about that other person, but God damn it, I could do something about me. And when you like throw your hands up, so to speak, right? Not to like give up, but just to like, you see the way things are, and that's just they are where they are. Okay. So the reason why I came back on here was I was in a room, and I was sweeping out my youngest son's room. I was sweeping his room out, and I had just got this download, like, if it wasn't for the bad ones, right, then it wouldn't push you to know what you want. So listen, in life, right, we all experience whatever, whether it was a bad relationship, and it is all a core, and it's here universe is not a such thing as good or bad, it's just error. Okay, what you see that you have been doing is not working for you, right? So therefore you do something different, right? It's called the law of polarity, because what could be good to you, it could be someone else's bad, and what someone else's bad could be to you, it could be your good, right? And so there's no such thing as good or bad, it's just what you perceive those things to be. So every time something shows up in your life, right, you have to, for me, I'm grateful for things that shows up in my life, even if is um seems like, some difficulties or whatever it is like that. One of the things that tends to happen is when you are faced with adversity, it builds character. Okay, that's one. And then two, if it's not for a bad paycheck, right, how would you know that you deserve more than what you have been getting? So if it's not for those relationships and whatever it is that you tend to be growing through, if it's not for those things, right, then it's like perhaps you won't evolve. You get what I'm saying? So everything that shows up in our lives is always a good thing. Okay? And listen, the light is always at the end of the tunnel. Okay? You're no one's victim. Okay? And thank God for the bad ones, okay? Right? And it is just is perception, right? Thank God for the bad ones. And the reason being is because whatever is showing up, if I don't like it, I have the ability to change it. If something is showing up that I'm like, oh my goodness, right? I'm sick and tired of growing through this or going through this, okay? I have the ability to say, okay, Dina, you already know what you don't like, okay? What is it that you do like? So check this out. If it's not for, say for instance, you was working at this job, right? And on the job, you felt like they didn't appreciate you, right? You felt like you was underpaid, whatever. You felt like, when promotions would come up, you would be overseen, overlooked, whatever. Like they wouldn't pay attention to you, whatever, right? You could do one or two things. You could say and feel like a victim and say, damn, they always do this, right? I never get looked at when they giving these promotions and they don't want to see me win and whatever you may say, right? Or you can say, you know what? I'm gonna do the work on myself, okay? I'm gonna become a better version of myself. So therefore, okay, I could get something different and better. Because let me tell you what tends to happen in life, okay? And speaking from experience, if you are at a job, right, and you absolutely hate that job, right? And you like, you know what? I'm going to find another job. But you still have that same exact energy from the job that you're on, and you're going to look for another job with that same exact energy. Chances are that next job is going to be like your previous job because that's what you're focused on, right? Most likely, when you are going to the interview or whatever it is like that, you subconsciously, or you may even say this out loud, like, damn, I hope this job isn't like the job that, that I just was on or whatever. I hope this job way better, right? And as long as you think that way, that's what's going to happen. I'm going to give you guys an example. Okay, I love sharing the stories because it to me it's just like the potatoes and the onions. Okay, I'm not gonna say meat. Okay, part of me wanted to say some steak and potatoes, but it's like the potatoes and the onions. Okay, listen, when I had brought a vehicle, right? A few about 3 years ago, right? And I'm trying to think. Oh, prior to me, all right. So I had brought, let's say, three vehicles, right? This first vehicle that I had purchased. I went to a big dealership. Okay. Hey, Stillworth, PC, is it Janaya? Janaya? I think it's Janaya. PC, baby, PC. I hope I ain't butchering your name, girl. Okay. Um, so I had three vehicles, right? But not three all at one time. But I'm gonna give you guys the examples. So I had went to this large dealership, right? To buy a car. And the car that I had, it was nothing wrong with that car, but I wanted a bigger car because I at that time I'm trying to see was I no at that time I just had my youngest son. Okay. So I wanted to get a bigger car, right? But the car that I got, it wasn't that much bigger. I mean, it held five people in there. So it wasn't that much bigger than the car that I had. But prior to me getting this new vehicle, I had a Toyota Camry. Honey, you couldn't tell me nothing with that Toyota Camry. Nothing was wrong with that Toyota Camry. That Toyota Camry. Hey Laura, PC baby, PC. That Toyota Camry, it was good. Okay, I mean that Toyota Camry, honey. I remember when I first purchased, and I purchased that Toyota Camry with cash. Okay, and at that time it was like what? It was 4,500. Well, actually it was 5,000, but I purchased it with cash. Okay, and so what wound up happening was, and it was a funny story because the guy who sold me the car, whatever, I'm not even gonna get there to be for another day unless you guys want to hear it. Okay. If you want to hear it, just tell me you want to hear it and I'll tell you the story. But anywho, so when I purchased the Toyota Camry, right, the Toyota Camry, it was good. It put Honey, I you could have told me that was a Lexus. Okay, it has some dope ass rims on there. Okay, all right. When I would pull up, guys would look, and I don't know if they was looking because of the rims. It was a fly car. Okay, and you may be like a Toyota Camry, honey. This Toyota Camry, it was good. Okay, it was good. It was my. Let me see. It was my second car. Yeah, it was my second car. Um, and so I purchased it. It was good. And so what happened was, since I was my family had grew, I said I need another vehicle. I just got a check from from the college that I was going to. It was really for tuition, right? But it was 5,500 or whatever. And so I took that check and I had income tax money. No, I took the check. It was the 5,500 and I put it down for a down payment on the car, right? Didn't know that that was really against the law because you're not supposed to put a down payment on a vehicle if you financing it. Okay, I believe it's 12 US 1431. I believe that's the code, right? But I could be wrong. Okay, but anywho, so when I went to go trade the car in, right? Well, go get another car. I was like in a rush, right? And whenever you in a rush, you're gonna be making so many errors because it's like you'll see red flags, but because you like this is it, right? And you in a rush, you won't even pay attention to the red flags, okay? Because you just like, well, if I have this car, my life gonna be better. Or if I be in this relationship, my life gonna be better. Or if I have this, my life gonna be better. Whatever, right? And so when you're in a rush, you just bypass everything. It's like you don't even got them care, okay? And so what wound up happening was I had got this car. It was a Hyundai Santa Fe. And the car, it was trash, just trash, straight up trash. Okay, straight like Forky from Toy Story. Okay, trash. It was straight up goddamn trash. Okay, it was so goddamn trash. I don't even know why they still had that damn car. Yeah, it was just trash. The goddamn engine was messed up. Okay, had to get a new engine. It was just garbage. Okay. And so what wound up happening was that was the car that I let them repo, okay? After I put the engine in and everything. Yeah, so it was just garbage. So anywho, well, my ex put the engine in, right? So anywho, what wound up happening was after that, well, I actually paid him back for when he paid for the engine to get put in, and then I mean, was it the transmission? Yeah, I think it was the transmission. Whatever, it transmission. So anywho, after I got that call, whatever. Well, after they repoed it, then I had got my homegirl call. She had called me and she was like, "Oh, I'm at the dealership," and that's how dope the universe is because it was within, let me see, September. Within 5 months, I had got another car, right? My homegirl car. She was like, I'm at the dealership. If you want my car, you could just take it, right? So I had her car. And then after that, I had went and got another car, right? But prior to going to get the my next car, right after my homegirl gave me her car, prior to going to get another car, when I was looking at cars, right, I had the same exact energy I had when I had the white car, the Hyundai Santa Fe, and this is how it showed up. So when me and my sister, we had went to different dealerships so I could find me a car, whatever. And my sister, I was like, oh my goodness, I just hope that, the next car, this car isn't like that Hyundai or Santa Fe. I had that energy within me, right? And so when you have that energy of you feeling like you're gonna get God, you're gonna get God. Because that's like, you gotta understand we are all connected, right? And whenever you put in thoughts out into the ether, it's like a big bubble. One of the books that talks about this is Yor Anderson, Three Magic Words. He talks about this like in depth. When you have certain thoughts and ideas, right? Well, those thoughts that, and you connect with emotion and the vibration, because the primary law to law of attraction is law of vibration. And so you start attracting whatever it is, whatever thoughts and emotions that you got going on within yourself. You start attracting those type of people. Okay, people just don't show up just cause. They show up because you have attracted them into your life. Okay, now you can say it ain't true. You can say I don't believe that. honey, I really don't care. Okay, you can say that, but the truth of the matter is, everybody that shows up in our lives are a product of our what we had going on within ourselves. So when we got to the dealership, this dealership, right? We went to a few. And I was in a rush again because I was like, oh my goodness, now that when I get a car, it's gonna be easier, for me and my children, it's gonna be convenient, whatever, right? And so what wound up happening was I remember we went to, me and my sister and her boyfriend, we went to like probably three dealerships, right? But this one dealership, I don't know if this guy thought I was damn boo boo the dumb fool. Okay, I don't know what he thought, but this vehicle that this guy had, okay, the goddamn tires was all flat, okay, in the back, and that immediately was a red flag because I said, "Goddamn, you selling a car, but you couldn't. Even if the car is a piece of crap, you couldn't take your time out to put air in the damn tires." So that already let me know that this car is a piece of garbage, right? So we went to we went to another dealership, right? So when we went to the next dealership, what wound up happening was, um, you know, we looked at the cars. It wasn't really too much that I was interested in. And then the next dealership I had went to, it was this guy, right? And it was this car. It was actually two cars. Uh it was either a Toyota or I think it was a Toyota, but it was like a 2013, right? And then he had like a Honda Fit, right? The Honda Fit, it was a 2009. So remember what I said. When I brought the Hyundai Santa Fe, I was in a rush, right? And this time, okay, I was in a rush again. And so we had did a test drive with the guy who sold the car and my sister, me, and her boyfriend. And so when my sister boyfriend was driving the car, because I was like, let him drive it, whatever, because he a guy, he'll know more about it or whatever. So he's driving a car, and the guy who was selling the car, he had like the radio on or whatever, and my sister boyfriend was like, no, like turn the radio off so that way I could hear exactly if the car is making noises. Well, lo and behold, the car it was making noises. Like when we was getting out the car, like it would make like this, like this squeaky noise, right? Like when we would get in and get out, right? Or if you would jump in the back seat, like if you sitting down and like jump, plopping down or whatever, it would make noises. So one of the things my sister boyfriend said was, he was like, if your sister get this car, she gonna be putting a lot of money in it because something's wrong with this car, right? But honey, I was just in a rush to get the car. So that day went past. I didn't get the car. I didn't purchase the car that day. So I left. And then me and my oldest son was talking. And my oldest son, I was like, oh my goodness, like, I can't wait for us to get a car and all this other stuff. And I didn't have nobody to, be driving me around to take me to different dealerships or whatever. It was like that. So since that was the last car that I seen, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just take that car. And the emotions that I had from the car that, that was jacked up, okay, that Hyundai Santa Fe, okay, that the transmission was all jacked up. This car, same exact thing, jacked up. And matter of fact, the transmission was messed up on this car too. And the reason why that happened was because when we was going to purchase the Honda Sam I mean a Honda Honda Fit, I remember me and my sister was talking to the guy who owned the dealership. And one of the things my sister was saying was, she was like, I hope this car isn't messed up because, but before that, I purchased another car too. And all right, so we was like, I hope this car not messed up because do the horn, like we was asking all these questions. And one of the things that the guy who owned the car dealership, one of the things he said, you must be had some bad experiences with cars. He was like, because people who normally, ask questions, like very specific questions. Hey, Angelica, very specific questions. You could tell that they had some bad experiences, like with a previous, with a previous. I'm trying to think of the word. With a previous example or whatever, okay? And so he knew that we had some, well, I had some, some crazy experiences because what he said. And I attracted him. I attracted him because prior to going to the dealership, what I was saying was, oh, I hope the next car I get, I sure hope it's not like this car, right? I hope it's not like the previous car I had. And so that's why I got what I got. Okay. And so what I'm saying to you is, even when it comes to relationship, okay, one of the things that you have to understand, thank you, Angelica. One of the things that you have to understand is, if, and this is why life is really, really amazing, because this is what I knew to be true. When I was like, after my relationship, right? I could have jumped in other relationships, but instead I took the time out to start working on myself, right? Because I already knew what I didn't want, and so I'm focusing on what I do want, right? And when I say I am extremely grateful for my exes. Okay, I am so grateful for my exes, even my youngest children's father. I'm so grateful when he like if he don't pick the children up, right? I'm grateful for that, because what they do is, and I said this earlier, they sort of put like fire up under my ass, okay, in a sense where, so it's like, all right, you know what, Dina, get busy, okay, read the book, okay, attend this mastermind class, okay, so you could improve, your content or whatever it is. Like, it really helps me, okay? And I am so grateful. And instead, like, say for instance, you was in a relationship, right? And your relationship, the person, they, y'all broke up, and they got into another relationship. A part of you may feel a certain type of way, like, damn, they just jumped into another relationship. But if I was you, I wouldn't get so upset. The reason being is because one of the things that you have to understand is that energy goes with the person. What I mean by that, Dina, what do you mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is, if your ex was complaining a lot about how you was and the things that you didn't do, and just was complaining and saying, they didn't want to be with you because of X, Y, and Z, then one of the things that you have to understand is that same energy that they felt about you, okay, because you got to remember, they attracted you, okay. And I really want you guys to understand this, and understand what I'm saying, okay. That person attracted you. I have said this before. We attract everybody that comes into our lives, okay, based upon our perception, based upon our thoughts, right? Based upon our vibration, okay? We attract everybody that comes into our lives. It's not a coincidence when people come into our lives. It is just a reflection of us, okay? And so when people come into our lives, right, remember that person attracted you. And so instead of them, jump into another relationship, the ideal thing would be is, you know what? I know I attracted this person. What could I do so my next won't be like my ex? That's really what you have to start understanding and getting. Because if you just like, well, I broke up with this person and let me just jump into the next relationship, jump, hop, skip, honey, I don't give a damn how you do it, right? And you just get into the next relationship, guess what? That next relationship is going to be just like your last relationship. Why? Because you have not done anything to change who you were. Okay? No matter what their ex did, you didn't change any aspect of who you are, right? Remember what I said before. I said, it's like this. You could change your clothes all you want. But if you didn't wash that booty, okay? If you did not wash that booty, okay, will you still be stinking even if you put new clothes on? The answer is absolutely. You're still gonna be stink, okay? Because you didn't even wash. So, and it's the same as that concept. It's a metaphor, I know, but it's the same exact thing. So if you like, well, I'm just gonna change the next person that I get in a relationship with. That's why, to tell you the truth, when my ex got in a relationship, okay, that's right, moving and that is that is so good, okay, Mr. DJ Music, okay, moving into a new house with the same old furniture. That that is really good. When my ex got into a relationship, right? And I'm grateful for like how things turned out. Like looking back, like and the other day I was like, why didn't he do this? And I was reflecting, thinking, and now I'm like, that was so good. That was so good how he did it, right? So what he did was he waited until we had another problem, okay? Because I told him that he needed to leave. He waited until we had another problem. And prior to that, I've been telling him, like, he had to move out, like, whatever. And what wound up happening was he met somebody else. And then instead of him breaking up with me before he met somebody, he started dating this person. And then he broke up with me and tried to say, oh, because you told me, I told you the last time you told me I had to leave that, I was leaving and that was it. But I told him plenty other times that he had to leave. He never went, right? And so later on I found out like, oh, so you was dating somebody while me and you was together. But that was cool. That was all right, right? And it took me a few months to like for that to really sink in, because at first I was like, damn, like you really did that, right? And he just kept denying, and no, me and the girl, we was in together. And I was like, okay, whatever, you can say whatever you want to say, but I know you was dating a girl with me and you was together, okay? But when I was doing the work on myself anyway. I was doing the work on myself even when me and him was together. But what really did it was once I got this concept, once I started understanding this. And so even when he was in a relationship, one of the things I said to him, I said, if you want your this what I said, if you want your relationship to work, like you gotta change. It's certain things about you that you have to change, right? And I guess he didn't think that that was true, or maybe he just was like, probably felt like she hating or whatever it is like that. But if I'm telling you, like, it's certain things that you have to change because you attracted me. And most likely, if you got into another relationship during me, or just say for the argument's sake, after me, right after me, then that person is going to be somewhat. like me. Somewhat. Now he may say no, she was never like you or whatever it is like that. And they wound up breaking up or whatever. But my thing was when he got into a relationship, and I remember hearing Abraham Hicks say this. Okay, Abraham Hicks. One of the things she said, because somebody asked her, they was like, they was like they ex or whatever. And one of the things Abraham Hicks said, she was like, I don't want I she was like, let's not let him off the hook, or I don't want to let him off the hook or something like that, talking about the girl ex-boyfriend. And Abraham Hicks said, she said, energy, you take the energy, the person take the energy with them, right? Like the energy, it doesn't stay home. Okay, I appreciate you, Angelica. The energy don't stay home, and so you could look at it and say, damn, like they just moved on, right? Like it doesn't matter, because guess what? They're gonna get the same exact thing. They going to get the same exact thing. And especially if if the relationship is moving real quick. Like, say for instance, they broke up with you and they got into another relationship, and that next relationship, you notice like they moving real quick, like real fast. That can be a sign that that relationship is soon going to be over with. Okay. But the purpose of this video is to say this: thank God for the good, for the bad ones. Okay, thank God for the bad ones, because if it's not for a relationship that is garbage, I mean trash, trash like Forky from Toy Story. Okay, I don't know if you guys seen Toy Story with Forky. Okay, but if that relationship, and Forky will always say trash, he will call himself trash. Okay, but if those relationships, right, if it's not for those relationships that's trash, you may not even be married today. Okay? You may not even be married today. Okay? If it's not for those garbage, trashy relationships, okay? It may not even cause you to start writing down what type of person you do want to be with. Okay? All right? And when I tell you life is really amazing, it is so good. And the reason it's so good, because anything that shows up in your life, you could always change it. You could always change it. If you don't like it, you could change it. And what I really love is when that happened, like, with the ex, and I just watched, and it was a part of me at times that was like, well, I could just jump into another relationship, right? Like the ego, like just jump into another relationship. But what really kept me occupied, right, was my purpose. And that's why I tell you guys, find out what your purpose is. Find out what it is that you absolutely love, okay, to do. Find out what it is. Because let me tell you, when you know what your purpose is, oh my God, it's like this. To me, this is how I feel. Me knowing what my purpose is, it feels like I'm protected. Like it feels like I'm like not only knowing what it is, but rocking out to it, right? Like doing inspirational videos and stuff like that, doing the work on myself. It feels like I'm protected, right? It truly feels like, okay. Now I don't know if Infinite Water said this, or if Pablo Coelho said this from The Alchemist, okay, that the universe is really, really conspiring to work in your favor. I really believe it. Like when you follow your heart, the universe will conspire to work in your favor. I truly, truly believe that. And it's so funny because when I first one of my very first books, right, during my spiritual awakening, my very first book on this journey was The Alchemist. It was The Alchemist, okay? And so let me tell you something. I don't give a damn what it is, okay? do the work on yourself and you won't get that thing over again. You won't repeat that again. You do the work on yourself, you're not going to repeat that. You're not going to get that because that lesson is going to turn into a blessing. Okay? That lesson is going to turn into a blessing because it'd be like, damn, like I went through that and that really helped me. Okay? Because you start looking at your life, right? Like, damn, if it wasn't for this, I wouldn't be here. Okay? Like that's how I see my life. Like when things show up, okay? It's like, damn, if it wasn't for this, perhaps I wouldn't even be doing this. Okay? And so when I tell you, it's just yes, yes. Okay? You gotta evaluate yourself. You and like just evolving, right? Like just evolving, like that situation. I look back and I was like, I'm very proud of myself because it was times where as though, and one of the things I know to be true is this: the universe is going to test you, right, to see if you are what you say you are. Okay, if you are what you say you are. Okay, Lupe. Okay, if you are what you say you are, or if you walking like you're talking it. Okay, Migos. Okay, it's gonna test you because when that happened, right? It was times where as though it was guys like that would try to talk to me, and it would be something like, oh, I could just jump into a relationship and just, pretty much just showing like I'm in a relationship too, right? But what I did was I just continued to do the work on myself. And when guys would talk to me, instead of me settling, right? Or instead of letting the ego run the show, what I would do was I would look at these guys, and when I see red flags, oh, I'm out. I'm out. I'm not gonna get into something just so I could show a ex like, oh, I'm in a relationship too. No, because that ain't gonna hurt him. Shit, that's gonna be with me. So I started paying attention to all the red flags, right? And one of the things that I noticed, I said, that some people say, oh, well, you know what? I ain't see the red flags. Honey, the red flags, you could spot them. I would like to say, soon as you start talking to the people. I now sometimes I say to myself, I say, Dina, maybe you being a little too hard, but a part of me is like, no, no, you ain't being too hard. You doing something different than what you normally would do. Okay, I spot those goddamn red flags so goddamn quick. I spot them goddamn red flags so goddamn quick. Okay, so quick. I don't even second guess it. I spot them, and that's it. Okay, like it was this one guy. Okay, this one guy that I knew. We went to the same high school together, right? And real nice looking brother, chocolate, okay, handsome, okay, very nice looking, okay. And he was very nice looking, and me and him, we was talking on Facebook, okay? And then we started talking on a phone, right? But I noticed that every time we would talk, he would text, okay? And let me tell you something, okay? The texting thing. Especially, let me put some lotion on my hands, honey. I just got out the shower not too long ago. Let me get some lotion or some shea butter. 1 second. So what happened was, um, so we was talking and stuff like that, and vibing and stuff, and um, but I did put his. I did. I must admit, okay, I did put his, like, after we was talking and stuff like that, when he would call me, his picture would pop up, okay? And the guy, my ex, okay, he seen the picture and he felt some type of way, right? But it was, I just did that. I did that because what he did, yes, I guess I stooped to his level, but I wasn't going to jump into a relationship just because, okay? So what happened was, the guy, me and him, we talking and stuff like that. And I told him, I said, why? Because I noticed it was like a few times, right? Like he did this. He would just text. And then one time I brought it up, I was like, why do you only text? Right? And he was like, oh, it's not like a reason, too much of a reason or anything. And I said, well, I don't really care for texting, because the reason being is, especially like if I just meet a guy and me and him talking, I need to talk to you over the phone. That way I can see if you got somebody in the background, okay? If you always texting, to me, to me it seems like you hiding something, okay? Because why can't you goddamn talk? Why you can't talk over the phone? Okay, he can't talk out loud. His chick or kids like him. Yeah, as I said, why you can't talk over the phone? And so when I brought it up the first time, he was like, "Oh, no reason, whatever it is like that." And then he called me, right? So we was talking on the phone. So this I thought this fool got the point, okay? And then the next time we spoke, he did the same thing. He would text. And I said, if you can't talk over the phone, then I mean, if you can't talk over the phone, don't text me. Talk to me when you could talk over the phone, right? And so after that, I said, oh no, oh no. I'm not doing this. I'm not going to keep telling a grown ass man exactly what the hell I said. And so what I did was I deleted him on Facebook. I deleted his number, okay, because I was like, I'm not going to keep going through this. So I deleted him. And he had sent me a text message, right? But prior to that, right? I had took a picture I had took a picture and posted it on Facebook. And this picture that I had, this outfit that I had on, it was like a one piece outfit, like a jumpsuit, but it was like, it was very fitted, okay? And I noticed he was like after he seen that picture, because I told him I wanted him to know, like, oh yeah, I have 4 children, okay, and I wanted him to know exactly, what it was, okay. And so after he seen the picture, he was like, "Oh, when," he was like, "When could we see each other or whatever?" Right? And I start thinking like, "Oh, I hope he don't think I'm one of them." Okay? Because this is also what I noticed. When I had 2 children, just my 2 oldest children, my self-esteem, it was low, right? And it's so funny now that I have 4 children, okay. My oldest is 21, okay. Then I have an 18-year-old and a 8-year-old and a 6-year-old. So what wound up happening was, since I started doing the work on myself, right, my confidence and everything, it had went up. And instead of me looking at it like, oh, I have children, and I never forgot, I had a homeboy who had told me this. Man, used to work together, and I would always go to him for like advice and stuff like that. And I remember I had went to him and I was like, you know, I said like I would settle. I told him, I said I would settle because I have, you know, two children. And one of the things he said to me, he was like, Dina, that shit don't matter. He was like, he used the example, like the analysis of Beyonce. He was like, you think, you know, people would date her because, you know, her if she had a child or whatever. He was like, no, they gonna date her. Really? I wonder why not, Tracy. I don't know. I know other content creators, they be saying um like when they subscribers come onto their channel, they'll be like, oh well, I don't know why I'm not getting the notifications or whatever. But honey, if it's me, you gonna get them, honey. Okay, I don't give a damn what they doing with the algorithm or whatever. Okay, all right. So what wound up happening was what I was saying. My homeboy, he was like, Dina, it really doesn't matter. Like if you have how many children you have is all about like if the guy really like you, they gonna accept your children. Like it doesn't matter. And for a long time, I used to be thinking like, oh, because I got children. At that time, I have two children, you know, so I got to settle and, you know, stuff like that. Because the stuff that you be hearing, okay? The stuff that you be hearing. Beauty only skin deep. Right? And so yeah, so the guy, he so he had called me, right? I took him off social media. I took him, and what really kind of like I was feeling him somewhat because I was like, damn, you know, he work out. And, you know, at that time I was really like on my workout stuff because I used to do Facebook live videos and I would be working out every morning on Facebook, okay, at the park, in the house, whatever, right? And I was impressed because I was like, oh, he work out. I was like, you know, it shows he's disciplined and, you know, all the honey. And so when I deleted him, okay, he called me. Or no, I think he text me, and I was like, who this? And he was like, oh, it's such and such. And he was like, why? Like, you don't have my number? And I was like, oh, I deleted you. And I was like, you could delete me too. And he was like, oh, so that explains why you took me off of social media. Yep, I took him right off. I ain't waste no goddamn time. I ain't waste no time. And the reason being was because I got that lesson from life, okay? That you ain't got time to be changing no goddamn body, okay? And I didn't give a damn. Hell, he was fine, okay? He was a fine brother, okay? But that ain't mean goddamn diddly squat, okay? If I gotta tell you several things, same thing again, over and over again, then that means that's how your ass gonna be, okay? And I ain't got time to change nobody. So I deleted him, and he was like, "Oh, so that explains like you know why I didn't even know he knew." I didn't even know that he knew I took him off of social media. But I took his butt right off of social media. I took him off so goddamn quick. Cause I said, oh no, you got me all the way twisted. Cause I guess he thought that I was one of them. Okay. I know some of you guys like one of them. Yeah, I guess he thought that I was one of them. I guess he thought that, you know, oh, she got 4 kids and she has settled. Oh no, boo, you met me at the right time. Okay. You met me right at the right time. Okay. So yes, I cut him off. I got rid of him. Okay. All right. I said, I ain't got time to sort of compete with my ex and show my ex like, oh yeah, look at me. I'm in a relationship too. I said no, because if I allowed it, okay, then I'd be going through the same exact shit. And who wants to go through that just for your ego? Just so your ego could be pleased. So yeah. So I just wanted to come back on here real quick and say it be grateful. Okay. I know some of you guys like grateful for the bad ones. Honey, be grateful. If it wasn't for that job that was giving you crumbs, okay, it would not made you have realized that, you know what, I deserve something better than this, right? And some people may have even started going back to school because they felt like maybe they could get a better job or whatever it is like that. But I'm so grateful for those things that shows up. I'm really really grateful because everything that show up, it is to build character. It is for you to build character. It is for you to evolve. Okay? And you have the ability to grow. You have the ability. Let me tell you something. Okay. And I know some of you guys probably sick of it hearing me say this because you probably like, goddamn, she say this stuff so repetitive. It's like repetitive. Every time you turn around, she keeps saying the same exact thing. And the reason why I keep saying the same exact thing because I want you to really understand and get this, okay? Because that's how you learned everything anyway, through repetition, okay? And so I'm gonna keep saying the same exact thing because it's repetition that's going to change your habits. It's going to shift your on subconscious mind, okay? And so everything that you tend to go through is for you to grow through. And also you got to understand, and in nature, okay, and in life is either one of two things. Is either you creating or you disintegrating. One of two things. You creating or you're dying. Okay? You creating or you dying. And then you choose. If you wanna die. Okay. Okay. You choose that. But it's either you creating or you disintegrating. And honey, I like to say so my goddamn self, okay? Because I know I'm a dope ass creator. Okay. You ain't gotta ask, you ain't gotta say, you sure, Dina, you're a dope ass creator? I know I'm a dope ass creator. Okay? All right. And so I'm creating, honey. I'm creating every goddamn day. Okay. That's why I'm reading the books. Okay. I know some of you guys like, goddamn, how many times you gonna show this book? Okay, Tracy, I seen what you said. You said that you downloaded it, right? That's right, Tracy. Honey, did you start reading a book? Okay. The, the Prosperity Bible. Okay. This book This book is such a phenomenal read. Okay, when I tell you, this is the fourth time around me reading The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Watlers. Okay, this is a good book. Okay, and instead of you know, I want to say all successful damn people know Napoleon Hill book, okay? Think and Grow Rich. I don't know one successful person that don't know Think and Grow Rich, okay? All the successful people that I have listened to, okay, come across, they all know Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, okay? And instead of you getting Napoleon Hill, Just Think and Grow Rich, you could get this book, okay, with Think and Grow Rich in here, okay. It also have James Allen, As a Man Thinketh, Wallace Watlers, The Science of Getting Rich, okay, Benjamin Franklin. I don't really know what Benjamin Franklin wrote. But Florence Shen, I don't know what Florence Shen wrote neither. And it also have Charles Hanu, who wrote The Master Key. Okay. And I believe it has some more authors in here. But if you want to change your thinking, okay, honey, get this book. Get this book. Okay. Get this. It's gonna have you looking at your life. Okay. Yeah, this the first book, Tracy, that I had got where is though it has several books in here. And when I tell you that the universe be on point. Cause I told you guys that story, right? I was listening to another content creator, Yusuf Al, and one of the things he had said that he started reading The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Watlers, and he said once he read that, like it started shifting his poverty like mindset, right? He read that, and then after he read that, he had read Charles Hanu, The Master Key, and he said once he read those two books, it just like it changed his mindset completely. He went from wanting to make $2,000 a week to making $5,000 a day. Okay, $5,000 a day, and that was like in the, I believe in the 90s. I believe. Um. So yeah. So when I say like the books, they they'll work if you work them. Okay, if you work them. And when I say the universe like was on point, because one of the things that I noticed was, I was listening to Yusuf Al, and he was talking about the science of getting rich. Well, I already knew, the science of getting rich was in here. And when he talked about the Master Key by Charles Hannell, I was like, oh, that's the next book I gotta get, right? Thinking, I'm like, that's the next book I gotta put in my cart. Because I told you guys, like, I listen to successful people, and when they recommend a book, I hurry up and put that book in my Amazon cart, and it's just a matter of time for me to get that book. Okay. Because success leaves clues. Okay. And so what happened was I came back home. I'm going through the pages, right? Looking. I was doing a video for YouTube, and I'm looking, and I come across the master key that's in this book. And I said, my intuition is on point. My intuition is on point to the fullest. Okay. All right. So with that being said, I love you guys. Make sure you're rocking out. Make sure you believing in yourselves. Okay. Honey, say a prayer for the relationships, okay? Say a prayer for the relationships that didn't work, okay? Say a prayer for the bad ones, okay? Say a prayer. You gotta just say, I am grateful and thankful, okay? Because I know, goddamn it, what I don't want, okay? So therefore, I am going to focus on what I do want, okay? Say a prayer, whether it's the relationships or whether it's is the job or whatever it is. Okay, all right, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. But be grateful for it. Be grateful for it. Grateful is not just well, I'm grateful for the food. Yeah, those things. Yeah, those are important. But you got to be grateful for the bad ones too. You got to be grateful. Okay. And so with that being said, I catch you guys most likely tomorrow. I may do a food, not a food hall, but I may go to Whole Foods tomorrow, and I had put on my community tab. Let me know if you guys want my next video to be an inspirational video, or if you want me to go to Whole Foods, because I need to get some stuff from Whole Foods, like some fruits and stuff, so I could be doing the smoothies, because I'm gonna bring that back. I used to do smoothies in the mornings on Facebook when I first got started doing these videos. So I'm gonna bring that back to incorporate health, more health. Okay. So yeah, so I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Rock out. Make sure if you have time, if you could go on my community tab. If you have time. Now if you ain't got no time, honey, you ain't gotta do it. Okay. You ain't no pressure over here. Okay. But if you have time, Let me know. It's a poll. Let me know which one you guys would prefer. Next inspirational video, or a video with me going to Whole Foods. Okay? All right. So make sure you guys rocking out. Have a phenomenal night, day. Honey, it doesn't matter where you are, what time it is. Okay? Do understand your life is going to get better once your perception gets better. And with that being said, I catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.